Ready. All right.
It's going to be a little loud, Tony, I think. Tony's at Sullivan's right now.
That's pretty loud right now. I'm sorry about that.
You know what, Tony? Just mute it before you speak.
This guy gets it.
Oh my God.
No, he's shit-faced.
He is.
All right, it's the Rack Me Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chad Zumock with Ken Mosca, Tony Mazer. Introduce our guest, Ken.
We have the funnier of the Bisconte brothers, as he's often been described by his other sibling, the great Seattle Seahawk fan, Pete Bisconte.
Hi, everybody.
Pete, good to see you, pal.
Good to see everybody. This is fun. I never
Thanks
thought
for
I'd be doing
joining
anything.
us.
I never thought I'd be doing anything like this. This is good times.
And we have Tony. He's live on location at Sullivan's in New York City. He looks like he's 3 sheets to the wind because he was hanging out with Pete's brother, Gino.
Hey,
I'm seeing a crowd.
So there was some kid there. I say kid, now he's 40, probably 30, in his late 30s, that I taught in high school. And he saw Gino there last year. Gene was polluted. He gave the phone to me and I talked to the kid. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So he saw him there again today. So that's what I was going to ask Gene if he's still there. He gave me his thing. They're going to bring me to the high school reunion. I taught those guys. Small world. Unbelievable.
I tell you what, Sullivan's grows on people.
Yeah, Tony, is Gino still there? Did he leave?
Yeah, Gino left. He actually just left. We were hanging out with Gavin and Matt Eisman from American Ninja Warrior just now.
Oh,
and yeah, he was drinking pretty good, and he is gone right now. I don't know if it's street cleaning day or whatever the case, but he is out the door.
Street cleaning day.
Matt Eisman's a good guy.
Matty Ice.
I've had some cocktails with that guy. I've had some cocktails. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, Ken, who won week 1? Where are we at? How's it look?
So week 1, which I have right here in front of me, I had a great conversation with Gary Coe, who helped out with some of how we may want to present this in Google Docs, but that's a conversation for another time. But week 1, Ryan Z. Who is that? Ryan
My
Z.
cousin. It's my cousin.
Exactly. I wanted you to say. He had a 10-win week. Mazer and Mosca had 9 wins. Zumock had 8. Gary Coe had 8. And Steve Bonapane had 8. The rest of the people were behind that. So good first.
And by the
week.
way, Gary Coe had to get corrected, right?
Yes, his was corrected. And look, it's a good point. Gary Coe said he'd love to come on and explain that that Texans Colts game. Texans were getting 7. The game ended up in a tie because he took the Texans, and this is not, as you know, we don't do money line bets. We do the spread. That since it ended in a tie and he took the Texans, he gets the win. Interesting. I'm not, and I saw it online and stuff like that and read about it and stuff like that. I'm wondering about all the wins and losses from last year, which we don't have to talk about, that were just simply whitewashed because it was a tie. So pretty interesting. It could have changed maybe who won, who came in second, or who came in third last year. That's what Gary was saying to me. So it's all good.
Last year was a clusterfuck.
Right. And look, we got 11 people this year, so it's nice, it's manageable, and we have $750 in the pot.
We'll have fun with it. Winner takes all.
By the way, before we get started on this week's picks, Pete, I got to ask you about that Seahawks-Broncos game. What the fuck happened?
What happened was Russell Wilson looked exactly the same except the color of his shirt. That offense looked exactly the same. Honestly, I couldn't believe what I was seeing in that regard. It was just, that's exactly, I don't know why they're paying him $250 million to play the exact same way that they had him play in Seattle. That made no sense to me. At the end of the game, that is Pete Carroll Clockwork 101. Let it run out, then get befuddled, and then settle for a 60. Although Carroll would not have gone for the 64-yard field goal. he usually would have gone for it there. 4th and 1, that's when he usually decides to go for the field goal. So yeah, I think the fans were into it. Clearly they had, I think, they got him for 2 offsides and 2 false starts. So, or I'm sorry, 2 delay games and two false starts. So the crowd was into it. They brought a lot of guys. Cliff Averill was there. Richard Sherman was there. KJ Wright raised the flag. Marshawn Lynch was there. So they brought everybody back for that. And I don't know how that reflects on Russell. You know what I mean? That those guys came back when he was gone. But he wanted out. So he's getting what he asked for. He's got his coach. They say part of the coaching staff there in Denver. I just don't know how it's going to work out. I didn't know a lot about Denver other than they had 3 good wide receivers from drafts, the guy from Penn State, Cortland Sutton, and Jerry Jeudy. Penn State, what's his name? Harmlin. And I have family in Penn State, so I watched him play a lot. But you know, if Denver's offensive line is that great, it did not show that night. Seattle pressured Russell all night. They got 2 sacks, and I hope their offensive line is good. That bodes well for Seattle's defensive line in the future.
Now is Nathaniel Hackett, is he related to Buddy?
Not, I love that. He's not related to Buddy. He's related to the other Coach Hackett.
Yeah.
But at this point,
Nathaniel Crosby is actually a real person. It's Bing Crosby's youngest son. I've interviewed him before, so we should get him on the football podcast.
I should say Paul Hackett might just related to a hack at this point because that's how he coached it up.
Yeah.
That was terrible. 2 guys with that much experience screw it up that bad at the end of the game it's unbelievable to me. Like, you expecting to go for it on 4th and 4 or 4th and 5. Just call the timeout, call a play. Seattle jumps off sides all the time. I was shocked they didn't jump off sides on the 64-yard field goal to make it a 59-yard field goal for the guy. I was stunned.
Were you shocked? Were you shocked that Wilson got booed, Pete?
I was not, because
Wow.
you know, they showed all those other quarterbacks who left, like Brady left, Montana left, Peyton Manning left, but they all left under circumstances that were more understandable. Like Russell Wilson left because he didn't want to be there anymore. And I told my wife, we were watching a game. It might have been last year, 2 years ago. They're playing the Rams, and Russell Wilson's rolling out to his right from like the 25-yard line. Nothing in front of him but a first down or a touchdown. He stops and throws it to the opposite corner of the end zone. And when he stopped and threw it, when he let it go, I told my wife that's a touchdown. Russell Wilson doesn't stop and do that unless the guy's wide open touchdown. It was a god-awful pick, and I said something's wrong with him. He never does that. He could have run for the first down untouched and maybe got the touchdown. And because he wants to. I didn't believe it till I saw it. He wanted to put up all these throwing numbers and get an MVP. You know, I can't believe Gene's right, but I think the young fella's lost.
We can't believe Gene's right either.
Something happened. He was all about the winning and the team. And everybody said Seattle was winning with their defense back. Seattle won as a team back then. There were games Russell Wilson brought him back. The defense kept him in it, and he brought him back at the end of that playoff game in Atlanta in 2012. Seattle was down 21-0. Russell Wilson brought him back. They were up by 1 with under 2 minutes left, and the defense gave up enough yardage for Atlanta to kick the game-winning field goal. They complemented each other back in those days. And I think that maybe some of that stuff about Pete Carroll treating Russell Wilson special when they didn't feel he deserved it is true. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I have seen every game of Russell Wilson's pro career, and I could tell you something was amiss. Definitely
Denver,
a miss.
I'm telling you, the spreads have really changed, and they will continue to change since it opened. Denver opened and is still a 10-point favorite in Houston, who played a credible first game, right? They tied their first game. I think that's a lot of points. You know, I think they're still thinking Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson, and he's not. But go ahead, Chad.
Well, let's get this thing rolling. I got a dinner to get with Jim Brewer. Name drop, dropping names, dropping them all over, because we have a sold out show tonight. More bragging. So let's get on with week 2. Let's get it rolling. Thursday, September 15th, we got Gino Bisconte's Los Angeles Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Kansas -4. We'll go with our Commissioner Ken.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, I watched a lot of that Chargers game. I think Kansas City is back to being Kansas City. I know they were a little bit up and down last year.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, they sure are. I'm taking Kansas City and giving the 4. I think the Chiefs are back.
The Chiefs are back. Tony Mazur, live from Sullivan's, New York City.
Yes, John Sullivan's the scene of the crime here. Yeah, I'm picking Kansas City. I watched much of that game too, and Kansas City, anytime they wanted to score, they scored. And so I'm going to go with, the line was was pretty big, but I think Kansas City's going to put up a lot of points in this game.
Tony, at one point during the podcast, can you take us to the exact location where Gino got punched in the face? I want to see
Heck,
the area.
I could do that right now. Hey, Pete, did you ever hear that story? Has Gino mentioned that?
Yes, I've heard. I'm well aware.
So you're Pat
I'm
Dixon.
going inside right now.
You're Pat Dixon. You're walking in, and then
Look, there's Big A.
name dropper.
There's who?
He's a nobody. So right here, this is where it happened.
The end of the bar.
Right here.
Right here. This is the scene of the crime. Is there tape up? Is there?
There should be, like the Kennedy assassination.
Back and to the left. Back and to the
Oh
left.
my God.
All right, Pete.
All right.
Who do you got? You got
I think that San Diego will be able to keep, or San Diego. Yeah, they call it San Diego. I don't care. I think the Chargers will be able to keep it close. I think Kansas City will win, but I think the Chargers will cover. I think it'll be a close game. And one of the reasons I don't have Kansas City just blowing their doors off is I think there could be some residual effect from the off the field Andy Reid's son and that whole plead out of that case and what's going on with that.
what happened to that? Like, what happened with the whole?
His son apparently took a plea deal, and the family of the little girl who got messed up is very upset about it. They claim it amounts to a slap on the wrist. So I think there could be some fallout from that and some, Andy Reid maybe off a little bit. Although he's impressive, he can put a lot of stuff aside and coach. I think it'll be a closer game. And I think San Diego loses, but I think it's a cover, maybe a 2 or 3 point game.
So you're taking the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers to cover. Kansas City will win, but the Chargers will cover the spread. Yeah, taking the Chargers.
All right. Okay. Chad.
I'm going exactly with what Pete had. That sounded pretty good. I didn't know about Andy Reid's kid, so I'm all in with that one. Again, I did little research this week. I got to get back into it. I got to get back.
Andy
into
Reid's
it.
a bad father.
Yeah, the judge told him that, huh? Tony, remember that?
Oh yeah.
In
I
open
don't know
court,
how-
the judge called Andy Reid a bad father.
I don't know how you work through that.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That is. We called a lot of things, but a bad dad, that would hurt.
I wonder what's worse for him: bad coach or bad dad?
For him, it might be bad coach. He's able. I can't believe he could coach through that. Didn't the one kid got caught with drugs or something, passed out during training camp?
He died. He ended up
He died,
overdosing.
and he was
He
able
died.
to keep coaching. How do you do that? I don't know.
Who
I don't know how
has
you
the-
do it.
Who's worse, Andy Reid's son or Hunter Biden?
They're the same person.
Yeah, that's good. I think you might be right. I've never seen them in the same room together.
Well, let's keep it rolling. We got a Sunday game. We got our Cleveland Browns, Tony. The New York Jets are in town, and they're going to see that elf up close and personal at the 50-yard line.
Jeez.
And the Cleveland Browns are giving up -6. Boy, did we get screwed last week with that 57-year-old field goal and losing by 2 when it was 1.5. We got effed.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah,
I took Cleveland. I didn't get effed at all.
No, you did it. We did.
we were pretty close on that because we picked them. We picked the Panthers, and it was 1.5, and it was 2. So you know what? I'm going to go with the Browns in this one because the Jets are such garbage. I'm actually staying not far from Secaucus from the ghetto lands, as Ken likes to call it. The Jets just are in such a disarray right now. And the Browns, at least, the one thing the Browns have going for them is their running game. And they figured it out after 3 years of Stefanski as the head coach and Freddie Kitchens and anyone else who's there, you realize, holy shit, we actually have 2 really good Pro Bowl caliber running backs we can run with. And they did that in week 1. That's the only reason they won the game, because they're certainly not going to win with Jacoby Brissett. So if they run Chubb and Hunt the entire time, they'll win this game.
Yeah, I'm going with Tony on this one. I think the Browns are going to win this game. The Jets are horrible. They're always horrible. But that's where I'm at with that. Commissioner Ken, what do you got?
I'm taking the Browns and giving the 6. I think Jets are definitely a little better than last year, and I think this is going to be closer. In my initial pick earlier today when I was looking, I took the Jets, but changed my mind, which I may regret. But I'm taking the Browns. Pete,
It's 6 points.
Yes.
6 points.
I'm still taking the Browns. I think the wheels just came off the Jets. They never put the wheels on this year. Their coach is keeping receipts. He's a professional coach. Everybody takes a beating. Who says I'm keeping the receipts? And poor Zach Wilson is done before he got started. I think they're a mess. And I sort of like the Jets, but I think they're a disaster. And just throw them in a Cuyahoga and be done with it. I think they're cooked this week.
I don't think Don Jameson follows them anymore.
No, he's out. He's out.
Yeah.
He's like, I've had enough. You can only take so much abuse with some of these teams. You just got to move on. That brings us to another 1 o'clock game. We have the Washington Redskins going up against Dave Landau's Detroit Lions in Detroit. Detroit's getting -1.5. Commissioner Ken, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit, and they're giving 1.5 to the Redskins. I'm taking Detroit. They played a better second half, better fourth quarter than anything against the Beagles, but they ended up covering. But I'm taking Detroit. I think they're better, and for the way that Wentz played last week, a couple touchdown passes and a couple big interceptions. That's what he is. So I'm taking Detroit at home.
All right, Funny or Bisconte brother, who do you got?
It looks too easy to take Detroit, so I'm going to go with Washington. And I think Ron Rivera can get it done with Carson Wentz. It's too easy to take Detroit in the 1. Everything's saying take Detroit, so I got to go the other way.
All right.
Chad.
Tony Mazer, who's fresh off Godfrey's podcast. I talked to him today. He said you killed it, man. You were great.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to go Washington. I'm going with the Washington R words in this one. And just because I think Carson Wentz is on this redemption tour like he actually, honestly, if you look at his stats from last year in Indianapolis, he had a pretty good season. It's just so many Eagles fans are going to shit on him. And I get it, but I think he's on this redemption tour. And you're playing a team like Detroit. I think he'll put up about 4 or 5 touchdowns. So I'm going to go Washington this one.
I'm going Washington too, Ken. Mark me up. Again, I got a heart out, so I'm going to keep flying through because I'm doing a sold-out show with Jim Brewer, Commissioner. I don't know if I told you that tonight, and I have things going on. That's one of them.
Oh, yeah? I might be at LOL tonight.
Whoa!
I got past at Dangerfields.
That'd be funny if they let you on stage and not Bill Burr. That'd be great. All right, 1 o'clock game. We got Baker Mayfield coming off that big L, Carolina Panthers in Eddie Trunk's New York Giants, right in the backyard, right where Tony's at. I think the New York Giants is getting -2. Is that right, Ken?
Yeah, it's still the Giants are given 2. Yeah, they're favored.
Since Tony, you're in New York, who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think the Panthers, as much as Baker had some struggles like he did in Cleveland, he had the same struggles he did in Carolina, but he brought him back in that game. He helped them. He was able to find a way. He was able to roll out. And this whole Daniel Jones thing, everyone's like, it's going to be his year. He's going to turn it around right now. I just, how many years? How many years is it going to take for us to start convincing ourselves that Saquon Barkley is going to stay healthy and Daniel Jones is going to turn around and be a Pro Bowler? I don't see it. I'm going Carolina.
Pete.
I sort of think Daniel Jones and Baker Mayfield are the same person, although I guess Baker's a little better. So I got to go Carolina in that one, especially with the points.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw Jim Stansel. Sorry.
Wow. Name dropping, man.
I hear all these names.
I'm over here saying Jim Brewer, and you're saying Stansel and Big A.
Oh.
And Kevin Dabrowski today.
We got Commissioner Ken. Who do you got?
Giants at home. I'm buying into the Giants right now. I'm buying in. I'm laying the 2 points. They're at home. You know, coming off a nice week 1 win where the coach showed some balls and goes for the 2-point conversion. He's trying to change the culture there. So for right now, I'm buying in. I'm taking the Giants. The G-men.
The G-men. Mark me down for the Panthers on that one, Ken. Leads us to another 1 o'clock game. We got Bill Barr's New England Patriots versus Anthony Jeselnik and Earl Skankel's Pittsburgh Steelers in Heinz Field. That is a 1 o'clock game. And what's the spread on that one? I don't have it.
Pittsburgh.
It's my New England -2.
Yeah, it's New England. New England -2 in Pittsburgh. New England looked like trash first week. Pittsburgh won. They didn't look great, but they won an OT. And the Patriots are the favorite. It opened at 1. It opened at Pats -1, and now it's 2. So
is Jones playing in that game? Is New England's quarterback playing?
Mac
I
Jones.
thought they hurt his back.
yeah, I don't know. I know they were checking him out. I haven't seen if he was out yet, Pete. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm still taking Pittsburgh.
Now,
Pete,
wait, hang on. What's Pittsburgh? Is TJ Watt playing this week, or is he out?
No, Watt's
He's
out
out.
for 6 weeks.
So Watt's out, and don't they have a couple of other guys who got hurt too? So that's a big thing because I mean, TJ Watt's the defensive player of the year. He's that good. In fact, I'm going to say it right now. Hot take: better than JJ Watt.
what?
Yeah. Oh boy.
What
JJ.
about what about? Is he better than Chris Watt, the guy who murdered his family and kids in Colorado?
I didn't even know. What are you talking about?
It's a Netflix documentary. This guy a couple years ago, he just went off the deep end and murdered his wife and his 2 kids. And
I watched that because Chad was talking it up on Sit Down Zumock. I'm
Oh
like,
my
I'll
God.
watch it. And I'm like, hold my, I got douche chills watching that thing.
What's it on?
Netflix.
I'll
Yeah,
have to look
it's
at that.
it's a true story. It's crazy. I
And
didn't
what's it
know.
called?
I think the neighbor next door.
Murder, yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But his last name's Watt, and I brought that up just to just add the comedy element, I guess. Nothing like 3 murders for a ha-ha.
Hey, listen, stop it. Like that email said today, Chad, you're featuring.
I know.
How funny was that? What a dope.
I'm going with the Patriots on that game. Pete, who do you got?
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I think Najee Harris is actually going to play. Everybody else gets a Liz Frank injury and they're out for a season, and he's coming back after a week. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
It'd be more serious if it was an Anne Frank, but it's only a Liz Frank.
Or Chrissy and Frank? I don't know. Anyways.
All right, we got him.
That was a stretch. 1 o'clock game. The Colts against the Jaguars in Jacksonville. The Colts are giving up -4. I have no knowledge on this game, so I'm going to sit back. I'm going to hang in the pocket and listen to you guys.
Go ahead, Pete.
I think the Colts are going to win this game. I think Matt Ryan makes the difference as compared to going in there with last year Carson Wentz at the end. I think they can run on him with Taylor. I think the Colts win this game, and I think they want to win based on what happened last year. I believe they're holding on to that. So I have the Colts in this one.
Tony Mazer live from New York. It's
Hi from
Saturday
John
night.
Sullivan's. Jacksonville continues to be garbage, and Matt Ryan actually had a pretty good first week. I'm going to say he's going to have a pretty good second week too. So I'm going with the Colts in this one.
Me too. I'm going with the Colts. Chad.
going with the Colts. I'm totally piggybacking your guys' knowledge. I'm just, man, I gotta start reading up on these NFL games because I don't know what the hell's going on. We got another 1 o'clock game. We got Jim Florentine's Miami Dolphins going against Ryan Sickler's Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Baltimore's given up 3.5. Dolphins are coming off a very impressive win. So let's start with Pete, our guest. Pete, where do you stand on this one?
I'm taking the Ravens until Tua and the Dolphins make me believe they're for real. They always have. They beat New England at home all the time. They beat them when they had Brady. They beat New England at home, running that Wildcat garbage. So until the Dolphins show it to me, and if they win this week, that'd be something. But I got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens defense at home. What's the spread on that anyway?
6.
3.5.
3.5. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely. I got the Ravens.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, me too. I'm taking the Ravens for everything that Pete said. I got to see more from the Dolphins, and they had a great first week, but as Pete said, they've done that before, against New England. So I'm taking the Ravens.
Tony Mazer, 3 sheets to the win. Go.
I'm still going with the Dolphins in this one because this past week, Lamar Jackson turned down a massive deal with the Ravens. And if it wasn't for the Deshaun Watson signing with the Browns, it might have been a different story, but he wants Deshaun Watson money, and Lamar Jackson's not happy right now. So I think there's a lot of distractions what's going on with the Ravens right now. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Jim Florentine. I'm going to go with the Dolphins this week.
I'm going to piggyback Tony Mazer on this one because we're neck and neck in the pool, and I'm kind of rooting for the Dolphins. I want them to do well for Florentine and Luke and the Florentine family. So let's go Dolphins. And you said you got Ravens, Ken, Commissioner? Sorry.
I have the Ravens. Yep.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you Ken. I meant to call you Commissioner. I apologize.
That's okay. Just
405.
Don't call me the commish.
No, fuck that. We got a 405 game. There we go.
Wait, another 1:00 game. What about you? You skipped over Tampa Bay at New Orleans.
Oh, I totally did.
Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Tampa giving up 2.5 at New Orleans.
I'll start this one out. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay since I live right there, right by Raymond James Stadium. It'll be interesting to see if Tom Brady's going to get a divorce because he wanted to play another season. But again, he's focused. He's in. So I'm going with Tampa Bay on this one. Ken?
Pete?
I think Tampa's going to blow him out. I don't think it's going to be close.
Yes, so do I. We saw with the Tampa defense as well as a lousy Cowboy offensive line and a lousy Cowboy quarterback. But that Tampa defense is really, really good. This is going to be at least a 10, 12 point game, if not a lot more. I'm with Pete.
TM.
Yeah, Tampa's defense is the real deal. And I said it in the week one. I thought New Orleans you were going to have a really good quarterback performance, and it really didn't show up. And I think New Orleans, they're going to have to go through that Aints period where they're going to have to go through the Archie Manning, the Chuck Muncie, those years of you're going to get those like lean years because you have Sean Payton's on NBC and Drew Brees on NBC and everything. So I'm going to go with the Bucs in this one. I think the Bucs, no matter what, Tom Brady may not be the Tom Brady he was in New England, but he's still effective enough that he can beat a team like New Orleans right now. So go with the Bucs. The Dale Mabry Buccaneers.
Pete.
I got Tampa. Blowing them out.
Did we get all the picks in on that 1:00 game?
Yeah, we're a 4:00 game. The Falcons at Los Angeles Rams.
Quigley's.
Yeah,
Rams.
Kate Quigley's Rams. It's up to 10.5, Chad. It opened at 10. Rams are given 10.5. Go ahead, Pete.
As much as I'd like to see the Falcons win this game for obvious reasons, I just don't think Atlanta can keep it close, especially after the Rams took a beating like that on Thursday night in front of a national audience. I think they want to prove something. And if the Rams don't, that's great, but I cannot in good conscience pick the Falcons even come close in this one. So I got the Rams.
Tony.
Yeah, I got the Rams too. Rest in power, Fu.
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you. Ken, Commissioner?
By the way, Marcus Mariota, he actually did a pretty good job of keeping them in that game. But I think Mariota is going to be one of those guys that's like the traditional backup quarterback. He'll play for every other team in the league, do a serviceable job, but is not going to win them games.
I don't know if Mariota's going to make it through the game. Aaron Donald, one good shot on him. I think Mariota might just take a walk.
That's true.
I don't need this. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. This is going to be ugly.
I think it's unanimous. Rams around the horn.
Rams.
Everyone's rolling with the Rams.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, we're trying to replace them. We're trying to be the new show.
Oh, Pete Bisconte, Seattle Seahawks at San Francisco 49ers, 9.5.
49ers 9.5.
Okay. The 49ers are favored by 9.5. Seattle, I believe, has won the last 6 games against the 49ers. So I definitely believe, even though I think at halftime, somebody told Geno Smith, hey, you're Geno Smith. And he realized that, which is why he didn't do anything in the second half. I think Seattle tries to build off what they did, and I definitely believe they're going to cover the 9.5. If they get beat, it'll be maybe by a touchdown or a field goal. And history shows that these conference games are always close. And I think Geno Smith and the defense still want to prove something. And that's in San Francisco, right?
Yep, it's in San Francisco.
Yeah, and by the way, Trey Lance stinks. I don't believe the best quarterback on the field isn't even playing that game, and that's Jimmy G.
I can't believe they're like committing to Trey Lance for like 6 weeks. They're going to give him every opportunity. Yeah, okay. If you're 1-5, 2-4, you're done. You know, it's crazy. And no, Dallas is not trading for Garoppolo. We're stuck with Cooper Rush.
So last week, Seattle's game plan was to force Russell Wilson to his left, and they won. That's Russell Wilson. You're telling me they can't force Trey Lance to his left? Please. They might flat out win the game. That's the crazy talking. But at any rate, I think they'll be in it.
In it to
All
win
right.
it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks too, Ken. I'm going to roll with that and see what happens. That's my pick.
As will I. Is Jim Zorn there?
He was at the game. He should be. He was at the game. He was at the game on Monday night. He's another one who was there.
Steve Largent was in Canton, Ohio yesterday, but I was in New York for that. But
I love Steve Largent.
What about Rick Meyer?
Rick Meyer.
Best thing about Rick Meyer, he brought back 2 number 1s from the Bears.
That's right.
I cannot believe it.
I
what
know.
a fleecing.
2 number ones.
One of those number 1s was oh my God, I can't. The left tackle who's gone to the Hall of Fame, Walter Jones.
Cortez Kennedy. Oh,
Walter Jones and Sean Springs came from Rick Meyer. Unbelievable.
That's beautiful. That was beautiful.
I was at Notre Dame back in the day, and Rick Meyer was at Notre Dame but his replacement was Ron Powlus. I have a Ron Powlus Notre Dame jersey.
Of course you do.
Of course you do, Tony. Was he also number 3, Ron Powlus? Or did he?
Yes. No, he was number 3. I got a jersey of him. I got a picture of my dad, my brother, and I with Touchdown Jesus in the background in South Bend, Indiana. You know, the home of Pete Buttigieg, the gay transportation secretary.
I'm aware, yes. Pete Buttigieg. Oh my God. I keep track of my 3s. I wore number 3, so it's for some reason it sticks.
All right, let's keep the train rolling. We got a couple more games. We got Josh Sneed's Cincinnati Bengals versus Ken Mosca's Dallas Cowboys. Is he going to come back this season, Ken?
At Jerry World. At Jerry World. Yeah, 8-10 weeks from now. This 4-week stuff is bullshit. How effective he's going to be. Well, look how effective he was when he got hurt, in that game. It's crazy. This opened at 1, Chad. And
now it's
now
at -7
+1. Now listen, as much as it hurts my heart, I'm taking Dallas. They're at home. I could see them covering and losing, or I can see them winning outright. So I'm taking the Cowboys. I'll take the 7.5. That line's going to change. It's going to change again. But as of this taping, it's 7.5. So I'll take the 7.5.
What about you, Pete?
The Dallas is given 7.5 at home.
No, getting
7.5. They're getting 7.5. I think Dallas. I think it's a 7-point game, and Cincinnati coming off what should have been a big win. I know they want to prove something, but I think Dallas figures out a way to keep it close. And I love the quarterback for Cincinnati, but he's got to figure it out. All those picks, and he's not going to be thrown against. He's thrown against good defensive backs in Dallas. I think they keep it close and cover at 7.5. If it was 7, I'd have gone with Cincinnati.
Ooh.
The hook gets me.
The half gets you. The half inch.
Well, that's what happened. The Browns lost when there was 2. So, Tony, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna agree with Pete there. Cincinnati may win this game, but 7 points is or 7.5 is a little too much. And especially Burrow, he threw 4 picks. I mean, 4 picks is really tough to go,
And a
especially
fumble.
against that Dallas defense. Now, here's the thing: does Dallas? And I'll ask you this, Ken. Dallas gets an interception. Are they going to respond to it? That's the big thing. Is that they can get the turnovers. It's just a matter of, is Dak going to get them in the end zone? Now, I'm going to say he does a couple of times.
Dak's not
why I
playing,
think,
Tony.
Well, I'm just saying, like, as far as the Cowboys, can they get in the end zone in that case? And I'm going to go with Dallas. I don't think Dallas is going to win the game, but I don't think it's 7.5.
Is Cooper Rush starting?
Cooper Rush is going to start, but I'll tell you what, Tony.
Quincy
Will
Carter.
Grier. Yeah, right, Quincy. Will Grier, nose candy, got Quincy. Will Grier was having a great camp until he busted a groin. And he was going to be QB2. He was beating out Cooper Rush. He's got a cannon of an arm. He can move around better than Rush. But he's just coming back, just getting healthy. So, I mean, he'll be in uniform because you have to have a backup for Sunday. But, yeah, look, Cooper Rush won that game in Minnesota last year, had a heck of a game. Is he good for a game or two? Yeah, he's good for a game or two. For 6 to 8 weeks, I don't know. I think we're going to see Will Grier at some point in time. But yeah, Cooper Rush can get them in the end zone. He proved that against a good Minnesota defense last year in Minnesota. The thing is, what are we talking about here, Tony? We're talking about Burrow, throwing some picks, and maybe Dallas playing with some short fields.
Yeah,
let's see. Let's see Dallas with some short fields.
I think
Cincinnati's one of those guys, those teams that they're all or nothing. They'll go up there, they'll throw to Jamar Chase, and Burrow's going to throw back to him, even if he throws an interception. It's going to be one of those cases.
If Will Greer's healthy, I think he should be starting. He had a great career at West Virginia, led the Mountaineers back in big games. He does have a cannon of an arm. He can move.
Yep.
I didn't realize that was him in Dallas. I would start him instead of Cooper Rush.
Pete, he was having a great camp, and he got hurt. I think it was the second game of the preseason. He's I like to see him. I think
if he's healthy, I would play him. What if he got to lose? He could be your starter.
He's just getting back. I mean, he's really literally just getting back. So, let's see. I mean, let's see. I think we're going to see Will Grier sooner rather than later. I believe that. Chad, who do you have?
I'm going to go with Dallas Cowboys. I like what you said. They might win, and they definitely will cover the spread.
I like what you said.
I'm just a casual guy. 425 game. We got 4 more games left, and I got to go open for Jim Brewer in a sold-out show.
I hear it's sold out.
Yeah, it's completely sold out. Yeah. And
where is that in Tampa?
Tampa Side Splitters. That's
a great club.
Right off Dale Mabry.
Hey, I'm going to be at LOL tonight, so I don't mean to brag.
Yeah, you're name dropping there. We got 425 game, the Houston Texans versus Brent Tobler's Denver Broncos. I want to get him back on. I love Brent. It's in Denver, Mile High, -10. So what do you got, Ken?
Houston, they tied last week, right? We had this conversation, at the start. It's in Denver. 10 points is a lot. I mean, it really is. And I struggled with this one. I put the Texans down. I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to take the 10. I know it's on the road. I'm really struggling with this one. So I'm going to stick with the Texans, covering. I'll take the Texans and the 10.
I'm going to go Texans 10 too, just so you can have it in the records. Pete, what do you got?
I think Denver comes back. If Denver doesn't come back this week and blow out the Texans at home, they're in a lot of trouble. So I got Denver covering the 10.
I knew Pete was going to say that.
If they don't, the wheels are really then you start doubting Paul Hackett, the whole thing. Then you maybe go with Buddy Hackett.
Paul Hackett. Paul Hackett's his dad.
Clearly the coach won't be able to hack it.
Oh, here we go. Remember, we called you the funnier Bisconte. Don't let us down now.
And the most sober.
Unless Gene's here, then everybody's bombed. Smoking cigars, drinking. I don't even know where I am.
Tony, what about you?
I'm going Denver, though I weighed this one because Davis Mills had a really good week. I mean, this guy has a massive neck. He's like that. He's like that black dude who was stealing from everything. Where he had that massive neck. They called it Titanic. And yeah, but Davis Mills actually had a pretty good game. I was surprised by it, but I don't think it's going to last. I'm going to say Russell Wilson wills them to a win, and they cover the spread.
All righty.
Wow. All right. Do we got all the picks in?
Yeah, we're at Arizona Cardinals at the Las Vegas Raiders. 5.5. Raiders are favored. 5.5. Wow. Pete.
Because I want them to win, I will pick the Raiders, Devontae Adams, start playing the music, Brett Musburger, the whole deal. I think Kyler Murray is ridiculously overrated. Kingsbury, I think, is even worse, running some sort of freak offense out there. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins. I think Arizona is going to be a bust this year, and I love to see it. Kyler Murray's not Russell Wilson. Not every 5'10" guy is Russell Wilson. He's not.
He's not 5'10". Wilson's
5'9".
5'10".
Yeah, whatever he is.
Yeah,
He
Murray's
should play
not.
baseball.
Murray's 5'7". Murray's 5'7", if that.
Yeah, he should have played. I guess I say he should have played baseball. He's making all his money playing football. The Hail Murray, and that's it. That was it for him.
Pete, I'm with you. I'm taking the Raiders. Carr has something to prove. I know. Listening to Gino. Gino hates him. Hates Derek Carr. He is the worst quarterback in that division. I do believe that he is the worst quarterback in that division. But I'm taking the Raiders because I just don't believe in the Cardinals. I really don't believe in them. Tony.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Raiders. That's the thing. You mentioned Derek Carr being the worst quarterback in the division. He is, but he's still one of the better quarterbacks in football, especially in the AFC. It's just he's in a division where it's just really tough. You got Mahomes, you got Wilson, but I like Derek Carr. I like the Raiders. I think they're winners. I'm going to go with this one in this game. I think they really. Every time anyone counts out the Raiders, I think they're a very good team that they can bring them in. And I'll say it the rest of the season. I think they're still a playoff team, even if they're not going to be a division-winning team. I think the Raiders will win this game.
I'm going Raiders too. Let's give Sam Tripoli some joy. Let's get the win outright. And that's going to lead us to an 8:20 game. We got the Chicago Bears in Green Bay. Green Bay coming off that rough loss. Sounds like what's his name? Why I always forget the quarterback's name in Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Is he gone off the deep end? He's like on Joe Rogan. He's on Bill Maher. He's growing his hair out. He looks like the guy from Con Air.
He shaved his head again. His hair's short again.
He shaved it this week?
It's I don't know, but last time I saw him, very short hair. It was long, but
he did cut
short.
it. He looks like a retarded TikToker.
Too soon. Come on, this is a family program.
Can I say that out loud in New York City, or is everyone going to cancel me right now?
Yes,
no, I appreciate. Apparently, retard's a bad word now. I didn't know that. I've been informed you can't say that. I don't know why.
Now ESPN's not going to pick this show up.
I buy the 99-cent pizza store, so I think that's all that people are going.
By the way, I told Gene, I can't believe I got to keep seeing these Mannings. Said, "Where's our show? Where's them?" I know they like to give it to guys who played pro football. I understand. I saw the Seinfeld, but come on, it's not that good. They're not that good.
It's Green Bay minus 10 in Lambeau. Commissioner, you roll with this one.
Yeah, the Bears in a downpour beat the Niners, by 9. It wasn't a great game. The quarterback wasn't great, although he did move around a lot. Like Aaron Rodgers says, I own the Bears. 10 points is a lot, and I know Green Bay. I know Rodgers is pissed, but who's he throwing to? It's like Dallas. Who the hell are they throwing to? And I struggle with this one. Antonio Freeman, yeah. Sterling Sharp.
I was going to say Sterling's coming back.
I just
Mark Jamora is out of jail.
Jamora, Chewy, is he out of jail yet?
Did he go to jail?
He didn't go to jail. I think he got probation. I'm taking the Bears. Packers will win. I think the Bears will cover. but I could be way off. But I'm taking the
10,
Bears.
10 and a half, right?
It's
10.
It's 10. It's 10.
I'm taking the Bears. I don't think they cover the 10. It might be right on the number. I think this one's going to be. I'll call the push. I think Green Bay wins by 10 actually. So,
There you
but I'll
go.
take the Bears officially.
I'm just watching Tony in the video. I'm waiting for him like to get knocked out.
I'm like, I don't even know are you on the
Ah.
street now? See, maybe
He's
I'm
out
not.
front.
That's what I was going to say. I'm not
He's out
familiar
front of
enough
Sullivan's.
with Sullivan's.
Yeah, I'm on West 35th and 7th right now, and right outside of Sullivan's near the 99-cent pizza store. And I'm going to go with the Packers because did you guys? I don't know if you guys watched that Packers game the other day, and you're watching Aaron Rodgers get into the faces of his wide receivers. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think this week he's going to say like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? He's going to get them in shape, and I think they're going to blow the Bears out right now. So I'm going to pick them with the points.
Who's the Bears coach?
Dr. Z.
I'm going. Who did you take, Pete? Because I liked your take.
I took the Bears. I think it's going to land on the number. But that being said, maybe somebody missed an extra point or something. I got the Bears.
I'm going with Pete's take. Sounded good to me. I'm just ripping off takes.
Who's the Bears coach?
Mike Ditka.
George Hallis.
John Fox.
We got all
Mark
the picks in.
Trestman.
Ken?
He's a Trestle Nagy. I can go through all of them. Who is it really?
Ken, we got
I
those picks
seriously
in?
don't even know at this point. Mike Singletary.
Ken,
Yeah, we have all the picks. We're up to the Titans now. Tennessee at Buffalo. We'll have
two
to look
Monday
up
night
who the-
games.
Oh, yeah, why are there 2 Monday night games? All right, go ahead.
They actually started this a couple of years ago, Pete.
But they did it opening Monday night. Well, I don't know why they picked the second Monday to do it.
There must have been was it because of the U.S. Open tennis in New York?
Maybe. The
Something
Emmy
like that.
Awards. The Emmy Awards were also on opposite Monday Night Football. By the way, highest rating Monday Night Football game apparently since 2009. Almost 20 million viewers tuned in to watch Seattle. Russell Wilson's homecoming.
You know, what came in second was they were showing a rerun of The Burning Bed with Farrah Fawcett.
How do you remember that, Tony? I remember it. But you shouldn't.
That
Godfrey
made
loved
Farrah
that.
Fawcett.
Tony
That
wasn't
made
even
Farrah
born.
Fawcett's career. She was
It
treated
did.
as a serious actress after that.
That's right, Pete. She was. Yeah. Instead of
That's a
serious
true
piece of
story.
ass.
That's a true story that Monday Night Football had to retool what they were doing because the Burning Bed ended up beating them in the ratings on Monday Night Football. So like, fuck, we got to retool this. We got to get rid of everybody who's on the show right now. Frank Gifford.
Hey, Chad, Tennessee at Buffalo. Buffalo given 10.
I'm going to go with the Titans on this one.
You're going with the Titans?
Yeah.
Pete.
I think Buffalo rolls them at home, and they keep that rolling there with Josh Allen and the boys.
Yeah, I'm with Pete. It's Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to blow them out. I really do.
Ken, I'm going to change it. You guys got me worried when you guys tag team that. I'm like, I don't want to screw this up.
I'm good
Tony,
at
who do
having
you
an
got?
eraser.
Yeah. Tony, who do you got?
I'm going to go with Chumley, Mr. Whoopi, and Tennessee Tuxedo in this game. Even though I think the Bills will win this game, I think it's just too large of a spread. So I'm going to go Tennessee here.
I don't know. I saw the Bills plan. They drew it up on the 3DDB, and the Bills take them. I love Tennessee Tuxedo.
That's so funny.
Ah, Chumley.
That was not
what do you think about Mr. Whoopi?
That's not on in reruns.
Tuxedo. She will not fail.
That is not on reruns anywhere. He
No.
goes in the closet, all the crap falls out. Fantastic.
Oh, Mr. Whoopi.
Don Adams, right? Don Adams was the voice.
Yes, and Larry Storch was the voice of Mr. Whoopi, who just died this past year. He was
Yeah.
almost 100.
Yep.
I did not know Larry Storch was Mr. Whoopi. I knew
From
that he
F-Troop,
was,
Yep.
but I knew that they had some other cartoon on there where there were Indians and cowboys, and I knew Storch was in that.
Yeah, what was
F-Troop.
it? No. What was the Indian show that was on there?
Oh my God.
Cartoon. It was fuck. I'm forgetting because I know this one too.
I think they have it in a vault with the Anthony Aardvark somewhere. It kills me.
You
I
should
gotta look
forget.
that up.
You
Ant
should
in the
forget
aardvark.
this.
Oh
Tony,
my God.
you should forget all of this. You don't need to know
No,
this.
if you can remember the name, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now.
All right. Let's go to the last game.
So it
I
was
got
tennis tuxedo in his tails.
I gotta get rolling. So let's get through this last game, guys. We got Nick Swartz.
Oh no, I got it. It was go Gophers.
Yes, it was. Go, go, go. That is impressive.
Go
Holy crap.
Gophers.
I can't believe
Oh
this
my
podcast got derailed by Tennessee tuxedo. Unbelievable.
Go Gophers.
Oh my God.
See what happens when Tony goes to New York City. The country boy going to the big city.
Nick Swartzen's Minnesota Vikings versus Big J's Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. You can go see Godfrey there this weekend. He's at the Punchline if you're in Philadelphia. Philadelphia -2. Commissioner, what do you got?
The Vikings are my pick to win the NFC. So since they're my pick to win
Really?
the NFC, they have to be my pick in Philadelphia. The offense is good. The defense is really good. And this will tell us a lot about both teams early. So I'm taking Minnesota, and I'm taking the 2.5.
And Pete, you and Ken are in that area, the Philly area. And as much as I like that Philly team, I'm also going with the Vikings in this one. I think the Vikings have really shown themselves as being, like my opinion, they're going to win the NFC North. But I think they have a real contender to be a Super Bowl candidate, like you said.
What's the spread on that?
2.5.
Vikings are favored by 2.5.
No, Vikings are getting 2.5.
I
It opened at 1.5.
I don't even like the Eagles, but again, that's telling me take the Eagles at home on Monday night. It's killing me. Somehow Jalen Hurts gets it done. All the talk on talk radio around here has been deriding the guy, and all he did was win. They complain he ran too much. He's not throwing it right. I think they somehow show up and find a way to cover that 2.5.
So you're taking the Eagles. Wow.
I am. Monday night in Philly, Kirk Cousins is still Kirk Cousins.
Don't change my mind. Stop it.
I mean, he's still Kirk Cousins. And those
Jesus.
people are going to be, they're going to start drinking now. I think they started drinking now for that game.
And by the way, as somebody who's from the Midwest, I think Kirk Cousins is the best Big Ten quarterback they've had since Tom Brady or Drew Brees. It's been a while. You don't get a lot of Big Ten good quarterbacks, and Kirk Cousins has probably been the best one to transcend it and be
Russell
been a pretty good quarterback.
Russell Wilson was a Big Ten quarterback.
He played 1 year, but he was mostly at NC State, though.
He was. You are correct there.
Who do you have, Chad?
Mark me down for Philly, and let's call it a podcast, guys. Any plugs from Tony, from Pete? Anybody want to plug anything right now?
Pete, let me know, Pete, when I can bring some cigars over. We'll have some fun.
Any time. I was just gonna say, I'm going to sleep early tonight. I don't have a show anywhere. This was it for me. I'm gonna make a little pork on the grill and go to bed.
Tony will be at LOL tonight, right?
Yes, followed by comics with an X.
Actually, I'm watching the Phillies. The Phillies are on. They're
There you go.
rolling.
Keep it rolling. Sign up to the Patreon, everybody. Week 2 is up. If you're in the football pool, get those picks into Ken, and we're going to be making this thing happen. And thanks to everyone that supported us through thick and thin, through the transition. We do appreciate it. We will talk to you next week, next Wednesday. Rack us. For Ken Mosca, Tony Mazer, I'm Chad Zumock. Good night.